What up, y'all? This is going to be my review of episode 20, the finale to Dragon Ball Daima. It's been a couple of days since the episode came out, and I've just been thinking, I've just been having the episode in my head, right? And yeah, it was really something, and yeah, uh, I've been thinking about how I was going to make this review video of the final episode of Dragon Ball Daima. And, you know, I've been watching some videos and stuff, and I finally decided, you know what? I'm just going to make my review now. While I still have the episode fresh in my mind. And so, I got to recap the episode first. So the episode starts off with Goku in Super Saiyan 4 fighting King Goma for about 6 minutes of the episode. And it's one of the most epic fights that we've ever seen Goku in. King Goma was going in. He was using all his reality warping abilities, all his god powers that the third eye gave him, because that's pretty much what the third eye did. It made King Goma into an omnipotent godlike being, and pretty much. But it doesn't matter if you're an omnipotent being, because Goku is just crazy powerful, and he can just whoop people like that. And so, probably the highlight of this episode 20, was Goku using his pretty much his most powerful Kamehameha wave that he ever fired. Not because of like power scaling, but because of how much destruction it caused. He blasted a hole through Goma, and it went through all three demon realms, which for you nerds out there, probably like a semi-universe busting feat right there. Pretty damn radical, pretty much. And after that, Piccolo comes in, and as Goku and Piccolo had planned in the previous episode, that Goku was going to hold King Goma off, and then Piccolo would go in and finish King Goma off with 3 hits to the back of the head, which was going to knock out his third eye and take away his powers. Piccolo gets 2 hits to the back of the head, and then he gets knocked out of the way, and then King Goma starts putting a shield around himself, and then Majin Ku comes in with a book, and hits King Goma in the back of the head 3 times, and the third eye comes out. And after that, King Goma is defeated, and he goes into prison, basically, in this weird evil containment wave type thing. Piccolo and the rest of them send him to prison. Piccolo's just happy that he got to save Dende, and pretty much, Majin Ku becomes the new king of the demon realm, because he was the one to defeat King Goma. Yeah, he gets all the credit for that, for getting the final blow, even though Goku did 99% of the work. I don't know, that just sounded funny to me. But, yeah. Pretty much, Dr. Arinsu decides not to be the king or queen of the demon realm, because she thinks that if she does, she'll get overthrown. So she becomes like a minister or vice president to Majin Ku. And Majin Ku pretty much turns what was previously a monarchy into a democracy. And Goku decides to take all his friends and leaves. But before he leaves the demon realm, he explains to Vegeta that he had Super Saiyan 4 the entire time during the battle, and that yeah, he says that he achieved Super Saiyan 4 while he was training. So after the defeat of Majin Buu, Goku continued to train, and he achieved Super Saiyan 4 through rigorous training. Um, yeah, I don't know what kind, but he was training really hard, and he achieved Super Saiyan 4. So when Neva did his magic spell on Goku, he didn't actually give Goku a new form. Goku already had it, but Neva simply forced it out of him. And, yeah, after that, they make their leave, and, yeah, in the post-credits of the episode, Bulma and Goku go to the store, and they see that they're selling new two more demon eyes, or tertianoculuses, which can give you omnipotent power. And yeah, they should probably give one of those to Ten Shenhan because he needs it. And that's the end of the episode. So now that I recapped it, so I have the episode totally fresh in my mind. What do I think of the episode? I think that the beginning parts with Goku fighting King Goma were pretty good. They were pretty epic. I liked the part where Goku blasted a hole in all three demon realms. But I'm going to be honest, everything after that was terrible. Everything that came after that was just completely downhill from there. Before I went into this episode, I was really thinking like, okay, so it's either they were going to have Goku and Piccolo team up and they were going to have an homage. I was thinking that they were going to have an homage with each other, kind of like when they fought Raditz back in the Saiyan Saga. And I thought that, like, Piccolo would have to, charge up his special beam cannon to full power while Goku held Goma off. And then, Piccolo could have finished him off like that. Or maybe Neva could have given Piccolo an ass-pull power-up the same he did for Goku, because why not? And, it could have made the ending a little bit more epic or something. But then the way that they actually chose to end it was probably the worst way, and honestly the most disrespectful way that they could have ended it, with Majin Ku hitting King Goma with a book 3 times in a row. First off, the whole idea of them finishing off King Goma with 3 hits to the back of the head is already stupid. You guys know why they have that there? Because I haven't seen a single YouTuber bring this up, but the entire plot of Dragon Ball Daima is ripping off Super Mario Brothers. So, Dende is Princess Peach, King Goma is Bowser, Degasu is Kamek, and Goku is Mario, Vegeta's Luigi, and Goku and Piccolo and Supreme Kai are the Toads. And with every single, demon realm, they would get to the end of it, they would fight a boss, and then after they defeat the boss, they move on to the next world, just like a Super Mario video games. And the last world in the demon realm is a very fiery, red, hot-looking place like Bowser's Castle. And, King Goma, King Bowser, So since King Goma is Bowser in Dragon Ball Daima, they decide that the way to defeat him is to jump on his head 3 times, just like you would in a Mario video game. And that's why they specifically picked 3 times to jump on the back of his head. Now, I love Mario. I like Mario video games. I think that they're pretty fun, but for Dragon Ball, that is ass. That is not that is not a good idea. That's pretty fucking underwhelming for Dragon Ball to defeat a villain in that fashion. And I really thought they weren't going to do it, but they did. Because Kira Toriyama, either he was, it's easy for me to say that Akira Toriyama was trolling us, but I don't know. He probably just had a lot of brain damage when he was writing that bullshit. Or somebody else just put it in, because it wasn't just Akira Toriyama writing this show. It was Aki Yoku and a couple other people. Point is, somebody fucked this shit up, because the ending of Dragon Ball Daima was not good. Piccolo did absolutely nothing this entire series, and I knew they would screw him over. I knew they would screw him over because Piccolo gets no respect at all in modern Dragon Ball whatsoever. They disrespected Piccolo in Dragon Ball Super. They disrespected Piccolo in all throughout this series, even in the superhero movie, where he finally got his new orange Piccolo form. It's like, some of the writers were trying their best to make Piccolo look as stupid as possible in that movie, which is why he was getting beat up in almost every single fight he was in. The only good thing about that movie was the fact that, he got a new form at the end, so no matter how stupid they made Piccolo look, he was still Super Saiyan Blue level at the end of the day. But no, Dragon Ball Daima was completely disrespectful for Piccolo. They literally gave you every single reason to believe that Piccolo was going to do something important in this show. They made him a main character. They expanded on his backstory and everything, and they did absolutely nothing with him all the way to the end. He was completely useless in the last episode. Like, if I were Piccolo right now, I will be ashamed of myself. Ashamed. He aura farmed for nothing. He aura farmed for nothing in this show. Good for nothing aura farming. Piccolo has not earned the right to aura farm in this fucking show. He's not, because he didn't do shit the entire time. And what's worse, man, you can't have Piccolo end off the show. You can't have him be the one to finish off the main villain. And, I already said that it would have been better if Piccolo would have ended it off with his special beam cannon instead of hitting him back in the back of the head 3 times, because that's just stupid shit. That's just stupid Super Mario shit right there. But, they can't have Piccolo end it, but they can have Majin Buu end it, because they're just so fun. The writers of this show are just so petty against Piccolo that they would rather have a complete joke of a character end the show, instead of, somebody that we've known for a very long time. Terrible way to end the show. It was so underwhelming. It was so underwhelming. And look, I really rooted for Dragon Ball Daima to really be a good series, man. But after this episode pretty much ruined the finale of the series because of how bad the ending was. Another thing is Super Saiyan 4. After seeing how the writers handled Super Saiyan 4, I've come to the conclusion that Super Saiyan 4 should not have been in Dragon Ball Daima, because it just made no sense. It made no sense at all. They didn't have to have Super Saiyan 4 in the show to make the show epic. They could have just had Goku remain in Super Saiyan 3 and just have that coupled with actual good writing, and they could have made the show just as epic without Super Saiyan 4, because Super Saiyan 4, any way you slice it, it made no sense. Made no sense in this show. Neva having the power to give Goku Super Saiyan 4 made no sense. And then the explanation that they gave for how Goku was able to go Super Saiyan 4 at the end of the show made even less sense. It got even dumber. It just doesn't make any sense, man. Goku can't just grow his tail back by training really hard. His tail was cut off in Dragon Ball. That shit was gone. He can't regrow that shit by training. That's so dumb. It doesn't fit with Super. It doesn't fit with GT. Dragon Ball Daima really shot itself in the foot with that stupidity. Supreme Kai still isn't refused with Kibito by the end of the show, so that pretty much breaks canon too. So you got Super Saiyan 4 existing, which makes no sense. You have Supreme Kai not refusing with Kibito. I thought they would have done that in the end credits. They didn't do that. Dragon Ball Daima pretty much just made itself not canon. It made itself pretty much just a grand side story to, Dragon Ball Z, because it refused to keep itself in the lines and confine itself to the main canon. And you know, um, yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z, but like, I don't know, like these new age writers are kind of ruining the show, man. They really are. Just the sheer stupidity of just the ending of this episode really just fumbled this. Honestly, like I have to rewatch all of Dragon Ball Daima over again one more time just to see, how I feel watching the show, not week to week, just all at once, and see how it feels. To see, if the show's like, to see how enjoyable it is, watching it, because, for a while, I kind of liked the direction Dragon Ball Daima was going in for a while, with the lore and all that. But these last few episodes, man, um, I'm not gonna lie, it lowered the series rating for me. It really fucked a lot of shit up. I would give the final episode of Dragon Ball Daima a 3 out of 10 at best. And that's only because of the beginning with Goku fighting King Goma, because that part was epic. But Majin Ku being the victor of the show, that was a stupid decision. If it was a movie, fine. I would laugh at that if it was a movie. I would be like, hee hee, okay, Kira Toriyama's just, it's good to his good old humor. I would do that if it was a movie, but that is not the way that you end a series. That's a really underwhelming way to end an entire series with a lame joke like that. So, 3 out of 10. Last episode of Daima was pretty bad. That's not my rating for the whole show. I gotta rewatch the show one more time to see how I feel about the whole thing. But the last episode, 20, yeah, that was a flop.